I'd like to call to order September 25th, 2025's meeting of the City of New Bern Board of Adjustment. Thank you all for attending. We're a quasi-judicial group, and we're just volunteers. So I'd like to always encourage folks that are watching on TV to volunteer to help the City of New Bern out or any other activity they may choose to do. And also remind folks that we are an election year for the City of New Bern, and if you so chose, please vote early or vote on Election Day. Please do a roll call.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I'll start with Board Member Sandra Gray, and just let the record show she is not in attendance. Board Member Kathleen Marty.
Here.
Chairman Tim Tabak.
Here.
Board Member Trey Ferguson.
Here.
Board Member Leslie Allen, and let the record reflect she is not in attendance. Board Member Ryan Lanchy.
Here.
Board Member Ashley Howe.
Here.
Board Member and Board Member Barbara Sampson.
Here.
All right, and Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So for those of y'all who have been online and looked, there are 3 decisions that we would discuss next.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Missed one. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So for folks that are here in attendance, please make sure cell phones are turned off. Electronic devices or anything else are on vibrate or silent. And if there is an emergency of any time, please feel free to step away, and we can sure pause the meeting if need be, if y'all are up speaking at the time of the emergency. And as I said, we are a quasi-judicial group. This is a hearing which proceeds very similar to a typical court hearing. We ask that you respect everybody's time and attendance and do not engage in any disorderly outburst or disruption. We do ask that folks are limited to 3 minutes. However, we only have 2 folks here, and so we can, I guess, bend the rules a little bit. The way we generally work things is there is a presentation by the staff and presentation then by the applicant, and people then can speak in favor or against, and then there is an opportunity for rebuttal by the applicant. And we'll ask you all to come to the podium, and we will swear folks in ahead of time. And when you do come to the podium, please state your name and address so we can have that as a record of the court, per se. Did I miss anything, Kendra?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman. I think most likely just to move to maybe swearing in folks.
Okay. Should we do the process on the last month's decisions first, or should we swear in?
Under Mr. Chair, I believe what the city attorney has said is that there's additional information that needs to be added to some of the written decisions, and so I would, to effectuate that, I would make a motion to continue those written decisions for consideration to our next meeting in November.
So the motion...
I'm sorry, October.
Okay. Yes.
I'm ahead of myself. In our October meeting.
I believe it's October 23rd is going to be that next hearing. So,
thank you.
Yes, so the way I hear the motion is for the 3 decisions from the last meeting, and one is Dayspring's Ministries of New Bern, special use permit 003147-2025. The second being Epiphany School of Global Studies, which is special use permit SUP 003148-2025. And the third being King and Lasso Bar and the Cigar Lounge, SUP 003140-2025, to continue all 3 to the October 23rd?
yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Board of Adjustment meeting. So we have a motion. Is there any Second or discussion?
Second.
Do we have any discussion on the, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the motion carries. So now we'll swear folks in. So if y'all are both going to, please just stand, raise your hand. Okay, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Is it time to start the presentation?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
So this will be a presentation for the Charles Taylor building renovation, special use permit 00314-42025.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to everyone tonight. Thank you for coming out. And just as the chairman said, we'll start off with our only item here. This is for the Charles Taylor building renovation. The proposed use is 3.115 in accordance with our table of permissible uses. This is the government office buildings and supporting services contained within a fully enclosed structure. Okay, sorry about that. The request summary here, the applicant and property owner are both New Bern City of Housing Authority in accordance with the tax record. This is how it's shown and written. The location currently is 314 Liberty Street, New Bern, North Carolina, and the total acreage is approximated at 0.79. Parcel identification numbers are there. You're welcome to just take a review of that. And lastly, the zoning districts associated with the property are residential 6, R-6, or residential 8, R-8 for abbreviation, and commercial 4, or C-4. And the first map you have here actually shows from the previous hearing where we had a continuance of this item to this now date specific for September 25th. It had 3 parcels initially being considered for its proposal. I just want to make the board aware that one of those parcels has been dissolved between 2 of the larger tracts. And essentially that middle parcel that you're seeing, the smaller square, is completely dissolved between the 2 larger tracts. And I'll have maps at the end of it that reflect that change just so that the board can see that. But everything was done in accordance with the land use ordinance. It was already recorded with the Register of Deeds by the applicant. So all these things have been taken care of and in accordance with the land use ordinance. But the first map we have here is just the vicinity from the previous hearing that you had seen. And that's followed by our buffer map once again. And just to state for the record, there was no need for re-notification as it was continued to a date certain from the previous hearing. Next, you have the aerial map that just reflects what's on the ground there. And then that's followed by the zoning map, and that gives you the differences of zoning districts that were set previously. And again, I just wanted to show you what the updated map would look like. So the yellow there that you see that is kind of dotted, that shows what was previous. And then if you look to what's extending outside where the red dotted lines are, that's going to be what's new and essentially how this has been dissolved and essentially recombined. And that's an aerial map just to kind of give you hopefully an idea of understanding on that. And we have that followed by a vicinity map just to eliminate all the ground cover there and just to show you again what's reflective of what is current. So it may not be reflected right away on GIS. This normally takes about a week to a week and a half to be reflected in some cases, but that's what's current. And then additional considerations here. The staff has confirmed that the application submitted was deemed to be complete. I can also confirm that the request is within its jurisdiction in accordance with the table of permissible uses. And staff can also confirm that the item has addressed all of the departmental site plan review comments. And here, lastly, you have the site plan, essentially, that was submitted. And once again, as far as for that recombination, this is reflective of that as well. So you can see there's a lot going on, but you can see where that was based on what the previous maps that I showed you is reflective of the same thing. But if the board has any questions at this time, I'll take those.
Mr. Chairman, it's an interesting property line. Is there any explanation necessary or needed for up there since the property line used to go that way, now it kind of goes that way?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to try to see if I can get my way back. I think it's just slowly picking up on my USB here. I'm going to try to go back to that aerial. There we go. That works. Yeah, just so I can try to provide some context, my understanding is that they may want to expand a parking lot that is going to service the existing structure that's already there. The best way to do that, in conjunction with conversations that were had between myself, the legal counsel, and of course the applicant, was to actually do the recombination, because otherwise satellite parking would have had to potentially be involved, and it creates a lot of disruption in several ways, to where it makes it more difficult and challenging to accomplish. So they elected to go with the recombination to alleviate that. I know the property lines are slightly wonky, but we had to make sure that setbacks are still being complied with in regards to the existing structures that are already there. So that kind of throws another loop in there for whether it be the surveyor or the engineering company or the architect, to make sure or to ensure that the lines are meeting all the differences that the ordinance also requires them to meet when conducting a recombination. So that's why the lines are kind of I guess, a little different, if you will. It's not your natural, but they had to comply with setbacks too.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And so this will be the main office for the City of New Bern Housing Authority moving forward?
That's my understanding. I believe that's what's existing. I don't know any prior uses for it. We had initially looked at this and tried to make sure to understand how to approach it, and it was deemed that it was underneath a government use, and a special use is actually required based on the district that they're in. So that's pretty much what brings us here to this point. But as I understand it, it is an office of some sort.
Sounds great. Do we have any other questions or comments? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So at this time, we'd like to call the applicant up if they have any presentation for us, or a representative of the applicant. And again, please state your name and address and your expertise.
My name is Xander Pagayan. I'm with Stogner Architecture, and my address is 603 Crawford Creek Drive in Rockingham, North Carolina. And I think Kendrick's pretty much covered the base of what I was going to say, so I'm just here to answer more questions if there's anything else that you guys need to ask me. I don't know if you guys need to go over the questions that was previously asked in the DRC meeting, but I don't have much else to say unless there's any more questions for me.
Well, I guess one of the big questions for the members, has everybody had an opportunity to read through the documentation and listen to where when we do ask the 6 questions, that we can discuss them and we'll move forward with adding additional information?
Can you, for the record, just say your job, your title, and the firm you're working with again?
I'm with Stogner Architecture. I'm a drafter for them.
All right, and were you a drafter on this project?
Yes.
And so based on, and how long have you been a drafter?
I've been drafting with them for about 2.5 years.
Okay, so in your experience, and you're familiar with the location of the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with your experience and knowledge of the location and the character of this building and the use that it's going to be, is it in harmony with the rest of that area?
I would say so, since we're not even changing the way the building looks to begin with. We're pretty much going back with the same materials. We're just cleaning the brick. The siding that's getting replaced is going to look pretty much almost exactly the same. So we're not really interfering with what already was there.
Great, thank you.
And the only other question I guess I have would be in reference to the recombination. Does that really material change the lay of the land from the ground? I mean, on the aerial, it doesn't look like it makes much difference except it cuts across a corner there.
Yeah, it shouldn't change the landscape or anything like that. It's pretty much just we're changing the lay of the land so we could fit the parking in the back. But it shouldn't. It's not really going to change anything drastic back there.
No challenges to existing properties, I guess, is the big question.
There's no challenges there.
Yep, thank you. Yes.
I know you said you want to be offices and other services. What type of services are they going to be?
So they are having a community, 2 community rooms in there that can be formed into one. So that could be for a variety of things. If they need to have any like learning sessions or that type of things. Most of it is going to be an office for office purposes, but the purpose of the community room is so that they have options to put different types of programs that the community may need. Does that answer that question?
I'm just seeing what type of services, but I know you just gave the overall community services, but I was just trying to know you to name a specific service. Or you just don't really know right now?
We don't know the specifics of what exactly they're going to put on there. We were just tasked with providing them a community space so that they could have learning spaces and anything else that they will provide, but they didn't give us anything super specific on what they're putting in those community spaces.
So it sounds like the residents on the adjoining properties would have the opportunity to come into that meeting space and participate in some type of learning activity that might help them in the future?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my understanding of it.
And then I'm assuming also it might be used for employees also?
Yes.
Sure. Do we have any other questions, comments? Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else that's going to speak?
My name is Christopher Mashburn. I'm an appraiser out of Morehead City, North Carolina. Address is 3003 Bridges Street. I was asked to answer 2 of the questions that are in that special use application. One would be, would it impact in a positive or negative way adjacent or abutting properties? And also to opine as to whether or not it would be in harmony with surrounding land uses. I think that report was provided. I don't know if in its entirety it is somewhat lengthy. There's a lot of information in there. But I know that for sure Kendrick was able to put the first 4 pages in there, which summarized what the findings were. But if there's any questions to that, I'm certainly here to answer any of those that y'all may have.
Yes, so we did have the posting online of all 110 pages, I think, that may have been there. And there are only a few of those in front of us, but we did have an opportunity to go through that draft earlier today.
Perfect.
So I appreciate you getting it into the office so the staff could get it sent out to the board.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any additional questions?
None.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
So before I guess we should close the public hearing part of the discussion anyway. Do we have any discussion between the board members before we start the process?
None.
So the first item that we need to discuss is the requested permit is within its jurisdiction according to the table of permissible uses.
And Mr. Chair, just before you dive into that inquiry, if we can just note for the record that there are no notified opponents and notified proponents in the courtroom to offer any additional testimony.
Yep, so noted. Thank you.
Folks, there were notices that were mailed out, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and the initial for the proposal, absolutely. Notification was sent.
Perfect. Yep, thank you. So on to number 1, do we have any discussion? Do we have
Chair, I move that the requested permit is within its jurisdiction according to the table of permissible uses.
Second.
Do we have any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, the application is complete. Do we have any discussion? Do we have a motion?
Move that the application is complete.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second that the application is complete. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. If completed as proposed in the application, the development will comply with all of the requirements of this ordinance. Do we have any discussion? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
So we have a motion saying that the application will comply with all of the requirements of this ordinance. Do we have a second?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. That the use will not materially endanger the public health or safety if located where proposed and developed according to the plan as submitted. Do we have any discussion? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second that the use will not materially endanger the public health or safety if located where proposed and developed according to the plan as submitted. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, that the use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining or abutting property, or that the use is a public necessity. Do we have any discussion? Do we have a motion?
I think just brief comment. I think based on the testimony we heard, it satisfies the first part, that the location and character of the use, if developed according to the plan, would be in harmony with the area. But knowing this area and the facility and the spaces that we heard about, I think it's also a public necessity. So on both of those fronts, I think it satisfies. So with that, I would move to make that finding a fact.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second that the use will not substantially injure the value of adjoining property or abutting property, and that it is also a public necessity. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 6, that the location and character of the use, if developed according to the plan as submitted and approved, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located and in general conformity with the plan of development of the City of New Bern.
So move.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second that the location and character of the use, if developed according to the plan as submitted and approved, will be in harmony with the area in which it is to be located and in general conformity with the plan of development of the City of New Bern. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So, do we have any discussion or a motion to issue the permit? Or do we have any conditions that we need to add or discuss prior to that?
I don't think there are any conditions based on, the testimony we heard. So with that, I would move to issue the permit.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to issue a permit for special use 0031442025, the Charles Taylor Building renovation. Is there any discussion? So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We appreciate having everything together and making it relatively easy on us.
Yes, thank you.
Do we have any new business?
I do not have anything really additional to share. Of course, I'm pretty certain the board's aware there's the next hearing for October 23rd, and we'll be discussing the other item that was previously continued, that was regarding the Firefly Cafe. So if any additional information that I receive comes up between now and then, I'll make sure to try to get that to you all as quickly as possible.
Yep, sounds great.
Will this decision tonight be also on the agenda in October?
I'm going to attempt to make sure that it's included, yes, ma'am, just so that we can try to wrap up all of them together. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a motion to adjourn? How about a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned.